All right.
You're on.
I'm on. Okay. Same thread, the light yellow thread if you got it, in the 8/0.
What size hook are we going?
So a size 14 nymph hook. Yep.
Yeah.
You just,
I have this one.
so
Natural thing.
typically, I like to put a little lead at the head.
No.
I don't even know if I brought any. I just like to build my taper first, but I didn't put this in it. I like to put like 5 wraps of little .015 lead at the head.
I think I've got some with me here, Sam.
Cool. I have some. I just didn't even think about that, but I like to build my taper beforehand.
What do you got going?
Need more light. Okay. So it's not critical, but I like a taper, so just a few wraps of lead builds a nice little taper at the head. If you got it in some fine sizes, a little bit of lead, because that just takes care of it. You don't have to do any sit there and wrap, because you got, plus it gives a little weight. I like that. So the tail is Coke de Leon, but you can use partridge. Either one will work.
I've got some.
Need my good scissors again, Dave.
Flat lead tape.
Did I leave them somewhere?
There
There they go. Thank you. I'm flailing.
You have a lot
So this is the general, right?
No, don't say that.
People like to just fall ahead of it.
Oh, I like him. I did,
I
you know.
love
Yeah. Okay, so you're just gonna. All I do is build the taper at the front with a little lead, coming back to the back, and we're gonna tie a Coke tail, and we're just gonna flay it, kind of flay it out. I like Coke because it's bulletproof and translucent. So you just got to get it even. You kind of put a little turn to it like that. Get a nice little clump. And keep it straight. Grab a little thing like that. Cut it.
What is that?
Coke de Leon. Actually, Coq de Leon. But in the store, you know, if women are present, we call it Coke. If they're not, you can, whatever works. But it's more proper. I goof that one up.
Yeah, but you're going to get the wrong people buying it if you call it
Well,
Coke.
Coq de Leon. It's a cool bird. It's a cool bird that Whiting kind of brought over and developed. And it's on all the check nymphs. They put these for the tails. I use it a lot for dries. I mean, it's just awesome. I use it on my drakes. I just use it on everything. I'm a little Baetis. It's translucent, but it's not like pheasant tail or partridge. You get a few fish, you lose it. It's bulletproof. So all you can do is do a little tail, you know, like the size, half the shank, kind of a little shorter tail. Keep it thin, and I'm gonna flay it. So I'm gonna actually just lift that and bring my thread underneath and kind of get it to flay out a little bit, if I can. Just want it kind of splayed. That's the term, right? Splayed. Splay the tail. Then you're gonna bring this up, keep it kind of level. So I just bring it up to where my weight was, and then cut it. And the body's pretty simple. It's just like a little flashback. We're just gonna use that little Swiss straw or medallion sheeting if you had it. And we're just gonna tie this in with a copper wire, and then the dubbing, and we'll pretty basic nymph until we get to the head. So just copper wire. You're gonna tie that baby on, and I like to keep it thin, so I'm gonna tie it right here and stop. And then I'm gonna bring my Swiss straw in that amber color, and just kind of, it's a thin piece. You gotta be careful because that stuff likes to rip. So you just lay it kind of nice and easy. And see, I didn't bring it back because I want to keep it skinny. So I'm just wrapped to there, and I'm gonna unwrap it to here now because I know it's okay. And I'm gonna add my dubbing. So the dubbing, to me, is critical. It's like Mercer's Lava Brown with a little bit of UV olive and a little bit of UV yellow, but it's really translucent, and it just looks. It's what I think makes this fly fish so good. But it's barely. I'm barely putting it on there, so it's almost translucent, but hardly any. And I like that yellow thread because it bleeds through, and it looks like a pell belly on a little PMD nymph. But this is the ones that when they get adult, they're green. They're like really green and freaky. And if you ever run into them, you just don't have anything that green when they're eating on top. It's just nothing even close. But this nymph is amazing. It fishes really good for them. So just sneak that up. And I'm just gonna use those few wraps, sneak it back, and and just keep it really thin, kind of buggy, just kind of tight but loose, and just dub it on up. And a little thicker right here. As we get thicker, maybe double back a little bit, and then just stop there. We're gonna pull this little dude forward. See how cool that is? It's just really translucent, but that dub and this back. And be careful with the Swiss straw because it's delicate. Once we get the wire on it, no big deal. It can rip all at once. You see that back? Now copper wire, I always counter wrap everything. I'm really bad like that. So I'm just gonna counter wrap straight up, straight down, so we don't pull that over. Just kind of wham the jammer. There you go. And then I go a few more times there at the head. And if you didn't have lead, you could just build it up with the wire air. You know, that's always a good thing. If it's never thick enough, you can just take a few more wraps with the wire and make it a little thicker. So get rid of that waste. And that's the abdomen right there. It's just really a little flayed tail of coke, nice little amber back, copper wire, and that cool translucent dubbing. Now the head, this is where it gets kind of weird. There's a few too many steps, but it's nice. I don't know if you've seen it, but on mayflies, they always have two little black buds that are back, and they're like that, and they're the first things that go dark. And it's sometimes what fish see, and it's what they key on. That's why I think this is why this fish is good. So that's what the black hollow's for. And we're gonna do two little wing buds. And I always put this stuff down so it's not up in your way, you know, so I always tie it kind of down. Don't matter because the second one's gonna be up, but you're gonna tie it in right kind of to that side on an angle, and you're gonna go forward, and then we're gonna take this guy and we're gonna flip him back like that, and we're gonna tie him back like that. And so they're off to the side, just like little wing buds. And we're actually gonna fold those, make little dudes and bring them forward, and it's just gonna give this cool little imprint of two little brown wing pads turning. Okay, so there we are. Now, I love flashback, but it's really weak. So once I bring these back, and we can do that here, yeah, actually we might have to do it right now. Let's do it right now. So razor blade or just a bodkin or something to fold against is a good thing. I like a razor blade because it's even, as long as it doesn't cut anything. So I like to just take a blade in here and kind of use this like this, and I just take my finger and I'm just going to come up here and I'm just going to fold that. I'm going to put an imprint of a fold, and that's kind of how I want it. See that little fold? Same thing, just it's kind of nice to have something to just fold it against, but you can tweak these. I used to do them down and then get my bodkin and tease them out. You can do that too, but I just like to get it kind of close, put it in a little imprint in it, bind that down like that. Now see, that one's way too long, so bodkin comes into play. Go in there and just tweak him back a little bit. There you go. So those are the wing buds. And it's so distinct on so many mayflies when they're emerging. Just that cool little, can you see that okay? Yeah. Those little wing buds? Yeah. All right. Now we're gonna clip those bad boys, get rid of that stuff. If you're nervous, leave them, but make sure they're tight, because you know, you could grab something and pull them out. It's known to happen. But kind of bind those down at the front. Just make sure you got some good tight wraps, just like that. And that pale yellow, once again, is key. When we finish the thorax, it's just like the stone. We're gonna use nothing, just a little bit, and you want that pale yellow to bleed through, because most PMDs, their bellies are just pale. There's like nothing there. There's just like, anyway, so now this is the fun part. So you take this little unifloss, it's chartreuse, and then you take this fluorescent chartreuse crystal flash, and what I do is you just tie them on. It's gonna be our split. This is where the wing case is actually splitting. And we're gonna put that right on the thorax, just right in the heart, and we're gonna bring that back. Now I like to lift my stuff. Lift it, and if you can fold it back, but that creates too much bulk, and just leave a little bud that you can bind down somehow, just so it's more locked. Okay, I'm using too many wraps. So now you use this little flashback, and why I like this is it actually holds this down, because this can be toothed real easy. I'm just going to tie that flashback down. And actually, the thing to do, because it is so weak, go in the middle and use two pieces, just in case it breaks on you. And it actually darkens it up too. It's a little thicker. So just fold it and fold it back like that so you have 2 pieces. And now, a little bit of yellow, iced up yellow. What do I do with it? It float? It floated. There's the whole bag, okay. We're just gonna add a little bit, almost nothing. I don't use dubbing wax too often. I just like to wet my fingers. I don't like matting my dubbing too much.
Little DNA.
That's right. Yeah, and then it's got your fishiness, right? So, and start closer to the head, and that's kind of rounded, so I probably should have built this up because it could slide, so if it's too much of an angle there. But I'm just going to do this very lightly, almost nothing. Just kind of cover that up, and then go back to the head. And now this is the trick. You can do it however you like, but a lot of times I'll switch my thread to a light olive at this point because I like the little green head. But I'm just going to do the legs kind of, is that a good one?
You take a green Sharpie at this point too and color your threads.
That's true. But yellow's great. Yellowfish is good. So I'm just going to use partridge at this point. I had a really good feather. What did I do with it? I'll just use this one. Okay, so, dang. Okay. So I like to tie my legs. I just switch. Now all my legs I tie on top, and then I take the flash to split them. I like them how they flay. I just do that a lot more than tying them, cutting a tip and putting them on, or side to side. It's just become something I like. I like to flay them. I think they look better. I'm gonna get this guy. I want a good feather. You can clip it. You can clip the feather. I just want a good feather, Dave. A longer one's easier to work with.
Dyed yellow?
So this is dyed gold. Yeah, I got it at Blue Ribbon. I couldn't get it for years. It's on a lot of my flies, so I conned Matthews to dye me 5 of them. And then I go up there and he has them on the wall. They weren't for sale. No, but it's a good one. Anyway, so I'm just gonna get the partridge and pretty straight.
To inject a question, have you ever listened to him do a presentation?
I have.
Is it good?
He's really good. No, unbelievable.
Okay.
I love Craig. I used to call him up in winter and just talk to him but now he's more or less involved with this ranch. You don't get him in the shop very often, but he's an awesome dude. I just think he's
Talk to him about
class.
coming down here next year.
Yeah, I think they had him not too long ago. So I actually would want more than that. I might have to do it the old-fashioned way, Dave. I don't have too many good feathers. Is this okay? Am I eating up space?
What feather are you?
Well, it's a partridge, but I don't have any long ones. I thought these were long, but it's better to have them long. I mean, normal partridge. It's just easier to work with to get a good clump. You know what I mean? I'm struggling to get a big clump on these little feathers. I just threw them in, but you want a good clump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this other way because I can't get a good stretch. And I'm just going to clip it. I'm going to clip it right in the heart. Get rid of that little dude in the heart. I want them just straight. I actually would just like it all straight, one piece. You know what I mean? Like that. And put it right on top. That's what I'm going for. But I might have it. I just need enough. There we go.
Now, are these going to end up being the wings?
Yeah, so these are the front legs. And I like partridge for this, so we're just going to put it right on top, right here, right?
Okay.
Just like that. And you need enough. Why I need them long is the whole trick is you got to pull them. Because I'm not going to put them right where I want them off the bat. You know what I mean? So my wraps are light. They're very light, but I have to pull that little thing. So that's why I was like spending a little time there. But now I'm going to do is grab this guy. And sometimes a little teeny dude will help. Like grab your hackle plier and just grab your hackle plier and just kind of grab that dude right there. You know, the first time I did this, Dave, I did it with Jack Dennis.
Did you?
I did. I tied in public with Jack at a warehouse. And now all I do is take my bodkin, and I'm going to come up right here. I'm going to kind of get it in the middle. Right there. Whoops. I'm kind of shaking. I'm just going to splay these.
Am I making you nervous?
A little bit, but it's okay. I'm pretty calm, but I like how these splay. So I'm going to hurry and get a wrap on them. See that?
Oh, wow.
And then how they go right to the side. So that's ideally what I like to do. But now I got to keep that loose, because if I put too much crank, I won't be able to pull on this. And hopefully I can pull on it, because now I like to line them up. For me, they're a little long right now. So you just got to be able to grab that and pull on it.
Turn that 90 degrees, would you, so it's facing the camera.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
And I just like to line them up a little bit. So they're a little long, but I don't have a lot to pull there. But anyway, you get the idea, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what's important. So the longer feather helps. And that's gonna drive me crazy. I like this side a lot. I don't like that guy right there. So he's going bye-bye. And I think I can live with that. So now what I'd do is I'd grab these, pull them up, and get underneath them so it doesn't block your eye, right? And kind of bind through there so it doesn't come undone. And now I'd clip this first one. And then I'm gonna clip this garbage. Kind of keep it away from your eye. And then the second one, you'll cover up this little stuff, right? So now you grab the second one, bring it over, and that kind of helps a little bit, makes it a little cleaner. Bam, bam. Now this one I'll go a little forward and I'll bring it back so it's folded on itself. And now's the split.
So the first one is to display the fibers, the second is to cover.
Exactly. Now longer feather helps. I mean, I really struggled if I had a long feather there, but you can do it, like I was saying, you could just cut it like the V out and put it right on top like that and do the tip of the feather as well. And then you have the stem to pull, which is what I should have done in retrospect. But now you take these two things and you just twist them together. So you're twisting these two materials together to get it stronger. You're gonna take this down as the split, right down the heart, that green split case. And you're just gonna do it hard. You want a good hard bite, right? And now you're gonna build that up and go back. And then you definitely want to then take this guy and fold him back like that. And then you're gonna have a nice strong head. Yellow in this case, light olive would be a little better. We're just gonna clip him short. And then what that does is that strengthens that flash, so it's not gonna come undone. But it's also that cool, bright split. And then you got those wing buds, which is, I think, all that matters. But it's a fun one. It's a good fishy.